Welcome back to Total Dissonance. Here we are again, doing our usual sort of collection of rubbish. We've decided today to speak about composers. We've spoken about music a little bit in our first episode, and then in our last episode we spoke about instruments. So we thought it's about time we talk about the people who actually write this music.
Yeah. If we say talk, I'm not sure there's going to be much,
there's not much
interesting conversation going on about
not.
any single one of these composers. We've piled them together and involved them in a game of our making.
So exactly. So I've found the 30 most listened to classical music composers, and I'm talking like real classical music. I'm not talking like Bocelli or something.
There's a funny fact about that as well, isn't there?
Yeah. So friends of the podcast, people who have been with us from day dot, will know that we have a deep dislike to Haydn in this podcast. We think this guy contributed, in fact, not just nothing to the classical music world. He's taken from it. He's imposed form on music which should have been left formless.
And that has offended many of you, but it's also brought many of you to our channel in the first place. So we're
It's offended you, but we got views.
Exactly. So I'm actually very grateful for what we once said, and we don't regret it at all. Even though many of you have commented about how wrong we are, we still stand strong in our beliefs.
Haydn is entirely useless, but we have now learned that we are not alone in that sentiment, because I'm looking at this list of the 30 most listened to composers on Spotify, and Haydn is not in that list.
Of course he's not.
There are people in this list. Oh, this guy.
Sorry, my photos just dropped twice. We won't.
There are people in this list who, like, you would have thought, there's Fauré, for instance. Lovely composer. I like Fauré.
Yeah.
He's not Haydn, is he?
But it's absolutely amazing that he's above Haydn, to be honest.
Amazing.
And I think it proves our point all in all.
It does a bit. I think you could say, though, that there is, like, if you think about Spotify is the music that they've recorded that people have listened to. And you could argue that because Haydn just wrote symphonic stuff, or mainly wrote symphonic stuff, that's not as easy to record as Fauré, for instance, who wrote a lot of solo piano music and wrote a lot of songs. That stuff is easier to record because it's cheaper, right?
Of course, but I always find that listening to any kind of songs, lieder or opera through headphones, the experience is totally ruined. It's the same way that I probably wouldn't listen to like a Mahler symphony, just because I feel like that stuff live is so much better. Well, okay,
it's definitely better live, but no.
I think instrumental music is so much easier to listen to through headphones than
really
things.
No. I think songs are just as easy to listen to as instrumental music.
More experience than I am. Actually, you have to listen to it for your work, but yeah. No, I always find. So it's funny that he is up there in some ways.
Definitely.
Also, I feel like he actually wasn't that much of a creative musician himself. Here we go. We're going to get blasted for roasting
so we say
Fauré now.
is useless as well.
Yeah, I mean, most of them are. Compared to what we've done for the music world, I think most of them are. If I'm being totally honest.
Fauré doesn't have 800 followers, does he?
Of course he doesn't. not one person followed around Fauré ever.
Exactly.
But I think that we've learned, we've been educated. Haydn did some things for the future, but nothing for himself. And that line's going down in history, right?
It's going down in history.
Yeah. He invented the useless sonata form, whatever, who cares? But
exactly. But anyway, yeah. So today we thought, instead of just talking about 30 composers, let's put them in a WWE Royal Rumble match.
Yeah.
We're talking SmackDown. We're talking like who's taking the world heavyweight title for composing.
Yeah.
So we've got these names, and they're going to run in to their own intro music.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a discussion on this podcast as to who's making it out alive.
We're going to be encompassing everything in this episode. We're going to be taking the physical stature, the frame of the composers, combined with their output musically, and basically just deciding who ultimately would come out on top as the all-rounder of the century, or centuries, we should say.
Absolutely. So I'm going to read the rules out now so that everybody is accustomed to what the rules of a Royal Rumble are if they don't know them. Composers will enter the ring at regular intervals, usually every 90 seconds to 2 minutes. So let's go with 90 seconds.
Okay, yeah.
The only way to be eliminated from the match is to be thrown over the top rope and have both feet touch the floor. So this has got to happen. And the Royal Rumble is a no disqualification match, meaning that anything goes. Composers can use weapons, utilize outside interference, or employ any tactic to gain advantage. So let's get started. Our first entrant, Debussy. Debussy comes walking down. The crowd are going wild. Are they right to go wild?
I think. Say that again?
Are the crowd right to go wild? Do we think Debussy's going to
I don't think that Debussy's music has ever inspired some like true riot, or anything too wild. So I would say that what he should do, what the music that he'd come out to has to be his cakewalk, right? Like he wrote like a cakewalk of some sort.
He did, I think. I think it would be more suitable if he walked out to like Claire de Lune or something, though. It's not hype at all, but this guy.
But then who's going to be scared already in the ring watching Debussy come up?
He's focused, man. Like you'd be sitting there like, this is the guy who's got the balls to walk out to Claire de Lune.
Claire de Lune is like, always part of the classic Eurovision playlist as well. So I suppose that like he would have his ultimate focus on.
Absolutely.
I think that that could be quite a good choice. Also, it's his debut piece. It's his like famous piece. So he has to like represent with what he's
absolutely.
So
I'm thinking Debussy. I'm just sort of seeing him sauntering towards it.
Yeah.
He's not running in there, is he? He's not got weapons. He's just sort of wandering down there.
No, he's wandering down, and he's taking his own time as well.
He's taking his own time.
He's saying hi to a few of his fans and a few of the women that he's, of course, slept with, because Debussy died at the end of syphilis, and that's partly because the whole of Paris came under his influence at some point or other.
It did.
So there he is. Just imagine him striding down, Claire de Lune delicately playing in the background, literally moonlight shining through the arena onto him.
Wow.
And all the women just swooning.
Absolutely.
So then he lands in the ring. He drops.
Gets in the ring. He's waiting. Who's coming in next? Who's jumping into the ring next? Oh no.
Oh no. Here it comes.
Zadok the priest. Zadok the Handel. He runs out. Is he German? Is he English? We don't know. He's German, but he lived in England.
Yeah.
But he's got royal protection as well.
He doesn't know what he wants. He doesn't know where he came from. But the one thing he knows is that he's going to win today.
He's going to take out Debussy. So Handel, he's running into the ring. He slides under the rope. He stands up.
He's got the whole chorus of his groupies behind him. Debussy's quivering in his boots.
Exactly. King George, who employed Handel, is sat in the royal box. He's watching. He's cheering him on. He's got the bodyguards. Bodyguard protection.
Oh, right. Exactly. He's got royal defense.
Yeah. So they're sat there. They're whacking each other in the ring. Right. They're doing their little things.
But they're taking turns with the upper hand. They've both got their own unique sort of features, to help them get the upper hand. But it hasn't really got interesting yet because Dvorak hasn't entered yet.
And Dvorak comes.
And so here comes Dvorak.
What's he come out to?
So Dvorak was okay. Come on, a Symphony Number 9, fourth movement.
It has to be
like the most famous tune in classical music history, basically.
Has to be. Also, the other thing I love about Dvorak, this is I think brilliant, is he had the weirdest hobbies, man. So this guy, he was like big into pigeon racing.
Did he? Yeah. Did he like pigeon racing?
So he bred pigeons and like trained them to race.
But wasn't he like a
And he was like, big into train spotting as well.
Was he?
Yeah.
That's quite cool.
It is.
I went to his house in Prague, actually.
Did you?
I thought it was really cool. I saw his like little pair of glasses. It would look like a bit of an eek in them, but honestly, like...
Yeah, but I bet he saw those pigeons from miles off.
Did he invite me? Yeah, good one. He saw those pigeons from absolutely miles off. He didn't miss one. Yeah. Or he saw a train coming halfway from Czech Republic.
So he's come in. What do we think? Is he going to be a bit of a fighter or not?
Dvorak is a short guy, and he might even slip into the ring completely unnoticed by the other two who are just going at complete fisticuffs together.
Yeah, he's just sat in the sort of corner looking around in the rafters of pigeons.
Of course, the tune that he's entered in is such an anthem that it's drawn all the attention towards him and him only.
The audience is loving it.
Yeah,
I think he's a very well liked person.
He is. Well, absolutely. Yeah,
I think so.
There's not a single Dvorak piece that's too bad,
Definitely.
Like some composers have a full range, but he sits at a nice level.
He could write. I think the big thing that Dvorak was like known for was like basically being good across the board, right? He could write cello. His cello concerto is known for being like the greatest, right?
Yeah, exactly. How much singing stuff did he do? Because this is the funny thing about having us both in the podcast. One of us can talk more orchestrally, and the other one can talk.
I must admit, I don't know much of his singing stuff. I mean, it's probably because a lot of it is written in Czech.
Yeah,
it's like not really accessible for young singers who don't study that language.
Yeah,
but I think there was a lot of good stuff. Well,
let's say final recital next year. We give you some Czech music.
I do an entire
recital. Exactly. Yeah.
That's a really sad way to fail a degree. I put so much work into it.
Your pronunciation is just so far from anything correct.
I don't know what's going on. Okay. Oh, it's gone black.
Oh, here we go.
It's getting real now.
It's getting a bit crazy. So we've got these three scrapping, but let's first decide who's got the upper hand in this scrap.
I think Handel.
Handel must. I think Handel. He's got a handle on the situation.
Yeah, he does. That's good. They can't handle him. And the other thing with Handel was that he actually suffered a lot in his life. He had a lot of his operas when he wrote them were really like they were really unpopular. People thought they were rubbish, and he had a lot of financial hardship before he came to England and worked for the king. So this is a guy, I think he has resilience.
Yeah,
he can. So he's not giving up. So Debussy is sort of like in Dreamland, impressionism,
Yeah, he's a bit wishy-washy. Exactly. Yeah.
Handel, he's got a grip on the situation.
Debussy doesn't even know where he is.
Exactly. So I think as Mahler's running in, we've got to announce it. Mahler's coming in.
Mahler's coming in now.
As he's running in, I think Handel topples Debussy over the top.
Absolutely.
Debussy's out. Right, I've got to mark Debussy down. It's out now.
Let's just delete.
Okay. Yeah. So at this point, Handel's just noticed Dvorak because Dvorak's been sort of sat there quite unassuming.
He's been waiting for those two to see through the outcome of that.
Yeah.
And he's just been waiting for his moment to sort of like slide in there.
Yeah.
But he won't last long with just Handel. He needs a distraction.
But that's
so
why
he's got his Czech rival, Mahler.
Coming in. And Mahler's quite an imposing figure.
He very much
is.
He was
6'2", wasn't he? He was a bit of a...
Was he tall, Mahler? No, he wasn't tall, was he? Strauss was tall. Mahler wasn't that tall. I think Mahler was quite short.
Okay, well...
James, can we get a fact check on Mahler's height?
I swear this guy's like 6'2" or something.
Was he? No, I don't... Let's hear this.
He was 5'3".
You could have been further wrong. Where did you get that from?
Mahler doesn't even get to the ring.
He
trips on the stairs on the way.
Yeah, exactly. He gets a concussion falling over. He doesn't even make it to the ring. Where did you get that he was 6'2" from?
I don't know.
Even from a photo, you can tell he's quite short.
Okay. Oh, well, Mahler's...
Poor guy. But he does have a Symphony 5 opening to enter in with, and that's strong enough. You've won when you've written a masterpiece like that.
And you could argue he has a lot of endurance as well.
Yeah, he does.
Because he has long symphonies.
He does.
This guy's had to sit there, probably through multiple performances of these works.
He's not even like one of those stupid composers like Brahms that takes 30 years to write them. He finishes them in like a year. So so he's got endurance, but he's also got a lot of content to just bash out.
Yeah,
exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And what's he running in with?
He's what piece?
No. What item is he running in with?
Oh yeah. Wait, this is he's got his Mahler 6 hammer.
He's got his Mahler 6 hammer. It's like four
you know what? Exactly.
Ring.
And I think that it means that he has to basically now dominate the whole ring because one sweep, Dvorak's gone. Dvorak's probably even smaller than he is.
Dvorak's knocked out. And,
easy.
And Handel just sort of quickly topples him over the edge.
Yes.
So we've got Dvorak's out. So it's Mahler and Handel in there now. Handel is cacking himself, right?
Yeah, no, he's breaking. Handel didn't come with a weapon.
Handel didn't come with a weapon. The bodyguards are looking a bit shifty.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just string away.
He's got Mjolnir, basically. This thing can't be lifted by anyone else. He just puts it on the ground and sort of walks around.
I'm pretty sure you nailed the pronunciation of an Avengers item.
Mjolnir, yeah, I don't really know the Avengers. And like Handel, he goes to the hammer, he tries to pick it up, he can't pick it up.
No, he can't. He's not worth it. He just does not know how to write music like Mahler. He hasn't gained that spiritual worth. He might have the royal protection, but he's not got any of that godlike ability.
Okay. But then we've got somebody else coming in now. We've got the world heavyweight champion.
Oh God, no! This guy is coming in with a platter of Italian meals just to keep the carbs up while he races into the ring.
He's a busy guy.
He's a busy guy. He was actually. I think the fact with him is that he's the fastest writing composer of all time.
Yeah, he was known as the Italian Mozart.
Was he? That's it. Yeah. So he comes in and he's got quick fists.
He does have quick fists.
And also, he's not a very easy one to topple over the edge if you think about it.
Yeah. He's carrying a lot of mass.
Of course, exactly. Yeah. Which is a huge benefit. But combined with that agility, I don't know how any of the others stand a chance. That hammer's going to have to get a patch up to
him. Have to do a little bit. Yeah, it is. But Mahler's doing all right, and Handel's still in the ring. I think at this point they're all sort of looking at each other. They're a bit confused. I think there's a lot of mutual respect there.
Yeah, they now don't know who's likely to be the winner, so they're all sort of just exactly staring at each other, figuring out the situation, wondering what the hammer can do. I
like it.
Yeah,
I like it. But then.
Oh, I thought we were going to save this guy till last, but here he is.
No, he's coming in. He's coming in now. The German champion.
Yeah, exactly. With his like 18 children as minions, just to help him bring Rossini over the edge.
No, I was thinking about this. Like Bach was a fearlessly religious bloke.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't imagine this guy was much use in a fight. But then I think about it. He had 18 kids. He definitely had to dispatch a few of them.
Of course he did. Yeah.
They were getting a bit brave. Slap.
I think that's why some of them actually went missing spontaneously. they weren't in bed at the right time. They were gone.
Yeah, exactly. So Bart's coming in and he can cope with this. He sees Marla and he's like, that's the height of my children.
Yeah, he's looking. He's going. What the hell is this? Is not German. This is. I'm here now, and he's got the infrastructure of the whole of musical history on his back.
But
you
I
know
also
what I mean?
think Bach and Handel have got a little bit of beef, haven't they?
Of course they do.
They
But
were born in the
with
same
the
year.
children that Bach has had, how much more testosterone must he have been packing? So in this ring, where that's all that matters, it's just they're going for it. Oh my god.
I think so. I think Handel's getting taken out.
Yeah, he's gone. He has to be gone.
Because Bart's
why
come
was he
in.
there for so long?
Mate, royal protection. People
Yeah,
are too scared to
yeah,
hit him.
yeah,
Mate, George
true.
the First loves him. So yeah, we've got Rossini, Mahler, and Bach in the ring. Nobody's sort of picking a fight with him because he's, he looks ominous.
Yeah, he
Is
does.
he useful in a fight?
No, what he's doing is he's slow motion walking over to the other two that are
Yeah,
battling
yeah.
it out, but they realise they've got a little bit of time before he actually gets there.
It's like those films, those James Bond films with Jaws.
Yeah.
You know when he whacks him 10 times in a row and he just looks like he's not phased.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what Rossini's like.
Yeah, they've tried a few punches, thrown a few fists, and nothing's gone anywhere.
It's like the
they've actually bounced back onto them.
Yeah, what's that classic Japanese tale of the demon and the butterfly? Like the only way of defeating the demon is by the butterflies floating around. So the demon gets tired. That's how they got to beat him. That's what it is.
Okay, so you haven't done any drugs recently?
I haven't done any drugs recently.
We'll get the name of that anime. Placed
It's
in
not anime. It's like an old
an actual film.
not a film. No, it's like an old story. I think
Right. Okay.
from medieval Japan.
Well,
Anyway,
yeah, we'll do some due diligence on that bad boy.
definitely.
Sounds cool.
List is coming in.
Who is the butterfly in this list? I wonder. We'll find out that soon.
Mahler.
Oh yeah,
the butterfly
yeah.
with the hammer.
Yeah, exactly.
List is coming in. What's his
Oh,
walking
this
into?
guy. No, this guy. He's going to have an upper hand on a fair few of these composers.
You
I
think
think
so?
he's going to be in the ring for a while. I'm not going to lie, because Liszt is
He's a passionate
He's got
guy.
hands as well.
Yeah, he's
like
got hands.
Rachmaninoff. He's got these hands that
Very
they
good
could grab your face.
coordination. Yeah,
They could just grab your face and just throw you, basically.
definitely. I like him. Yeah, he's got strong finger strength,
Of course he does. Yeah.
and he's also women love him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's very technical, and it matters to be very, very technical.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
got that efficiency.
And as I said, he's passionate.
Yeah, of course.
So it's like he's driven by something here.
Yeah.
Maybe
yeah,
there's a love. Maybe his fiance or something is in the audience watching,
Yeah.
and he's like, I can't let her down.
I don't think he had a Beyonce, to be honest. I'm not even sure.
I think he was too busy trying to.
He was just running rampant around.
with all those sort of courtesans. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. He's
so-
got all of his women cheering him on, so that's going to help hit the
Exactly. So
morale
they're
boost.
all, Mahler's swinging his hammer around. Rossini's sort of sat there. Bach and Liszt start going at it. Elgar comes in.
Yeah, but I think is it time to maybe get rid of one of them and make a
we've gotta get
decision
rid of
about
them.
who's going to go?
I think.
Oh, let's just imagine this ring in our heads like a sort of Lord of the Rings
It's
final
so hard
battle.
to imagine. I think Bach has to stay in, man.
I don't know though. Like, is it worth him staying in?
he's
He
got
was
18
quite an old
he's got
man
18
though.
Kids, man. He's got 18
What age
kids.
is he entering? Oh god, yeah, he's got 18 kids. He's
18
got them
kids.
doing the
And he can play
dirty
the
work for
organ, which
him.
means he can use his hands and feet at the same time.
Oh yeah, you're so right. He's not a
Yeah.
kickboxer.
He's not a kickboxer.
He's an everything.
He's in everything. I agree. So Bach is in. Bach has just dispatched Rossini.
Yeah.
He realised.
What,
Rossini
alone,
hadn't
without
thrown a
any
punch.
help from Mahler, or just alone?
I think Rossini's distracted by Mahler, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's seeing this hammer and he's looking a bit shifty. He's like, are they going to see through the fact that I actually can't fight? Bach comes out of nowhere. 18 children launch themselves at him.
Yeah.
Kicks
they're
him over
like
the
carrying
top rope.
when you see like the ants carrying a big bit of bread or something away. They're like carrying that thing.
The children carrying Rossini out. Yeah, I like it. Rossini's gone. So Elgar's sort of coming in. Very private bloke, Elgar.
He was.
Which has its. You worried about that as a competitor. You look at
Yeah.
him and think, what's he doing in his free time? Is he writing music or is he mastering Muay Thai?
Exactly. He had quite a few friends though, because didn't he write? The Enigma Variations. Like each
Yes.
one of them
Yeah.
was dedicated to someone that he knew,
Yeah.
like a friend.
Yeah.
So then he wasn't too much. He wasn't a private guy because
Okay.
he was like an introvert. I think he
Sure.
just didn't. Yeah, that was just like the general. He stayed away from the general public.
There is something very British about him though as well. He's got a beautiful moustache.
Yeah, so
Oh,
British,
it's
and so
like-
he would have been equipped with the most British weapons in this instance.
Yeah. So what's he walking in with?
Bayonet. Is that even that's
Walking in
French?
bayonet. I think doesn't that come from B&A?
yeah. This bayonet
What's-
place.
But then again, I suppose you could argue that we're all French deep down.
Yeah,
We
actually,
could
you're
argue we're all
right. If we
French.
trace
So
it back
we'll
far
take
enough.
We'll take the bayonet. We'll take the. Elgar's coming in with his cigar, his pocket watch, and his bayonet.
Yeah, yeah, you're so, and his moustache as well.
And his moustache.
His
You can't
moustache
forget the
is
moustache.
enough just to drive away anyone.
Exactly. I think at this point, he's sort of spotted what's going on in the ring, and he's looking a bit nervous. I think we've got some quite fearsome contenders in this ring.
Yeah, we do. This is not going to be an easy patch to get past. I think, we'd be such great commentators if this was actually happening in real life. I'd pay good money to just be there talking about it, seeing it. So. But who we've got to make a decision now.
I think.
We have to say what pieces he walked into. Probably the beginning of the cello concerto, right? It's just those few striking chords,
right,
and then he appears from the darkness.
Jack is sort of sat on the top sort of shelf.
Yeah, exactly.
She's sort of sat overlooking. She's playing.
Yeah. She's hoping, and he's got his waistcoat on. He's all dressed up.
I love it.
His countryside tweed.
But he's not going to do very well.
He's just not going to do very well. Like we can say all we like about Elgar, but he's just not going to do very well.
He's not going to do well. I think at this point, List is being dispatched.
No, come on, not
Do you
List.
not think so?
Really?
Okay.
List is quite tall, I think, and he's got those hands as well.
Marla's gone.
Do you really think? Yeah, what's Marla been doing? Like,
I think he's getting a bit tired. The hammer's getting heavy.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's only used to whacking it. Is it once in the symphony?
Twice, I think.
It's used twice in the symphony.
Yeah.
He's used it twice now.
He's used it twice now. It's losing its effect. People are like inventing new counterattacks, and he's running out of ideas.
He's running out of ideas. He's puffing, and Bark and List force him out.
Yeah.
So as Elgar's getting to the ring, Bark and List start fighting each other. Elgar, he's just here for the ride. He's just watching for now.
Yeah.
He doesn't really know how to get involved.
He's trying to keep himself kind of private.
Definitely.
He's sort of writing in his diary, walking around, wearing, getting distracted.
Definitely. I think as we hear the next person come in.
Yes.
I think they're still going at it. Ravel.
Interesting. I don't know how this changes things.
I don't think Ravel is even making it to the ring. I think he walks out.
So right.
What's he gonna walk out to? I mean, guy, Bolero. Maybe?
Oh no. Oh, Bolero is quite a nice little march, but he's also got like Daphnis and Chloe and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, you wouldn't really choose that. I think Bolero is a good
Bolero,
choice.
So he's coming out to Bolero. I think everybody just turns and looks and think, this guy, how's he made it into the top 30?
Yeah.
So he climbs up to get into the ring.
He's like a rip-off Debussy.
He's like a
so
rip-off.
Everyone's thinking if we can get rid of one of them, we can get rid of the other one.
Exactly. So Ravel, he gets to the ring. Everybody turns and looks at him, chucks him out.
Yeah, throws him out, and then we move on to the next one. Easy as that. So now
So they're still going at it. Elgar, I think Bark and List have just sort of spotted Elgar and think this is an easy target. Maybe there's a little bit of a kind of like a teaming up going on here. Maybe Bark and List have realised they've come in really early. They're going to get tired if they don't work together.
Yeah. You think that would happen, do you?
I think that's so.
But do you think that speaking musically, that the music of List and Bark would agree that much?
No, but I think maybe it's the whole opposites attract thing. Maybe Bark, you could argue that a lot of his music emotionally isn't quite as primal as List. I mean, like Bark obviously wrote incredibly emotional music, but it's not as obviously.
No, it's like hidden subtleties and everything.
Exactly, whereas List is the opposite. There was nothing hidden about his emotion in his music.
Yeah, I would say romanticism in general has that sort of rule of thumb. It's a bit more easy to listen to. But I do think that Liszt pioneered quite a lot because he was influenced so much Wagner and everything, you know. So he made movements as well, just like Bach did. He moved things forward.
So I think they perhaps have a kind of mutual respect there.
Yeah.
They look and think that these are masters of their own fields, really, in that sense.
Yeah, okay.
Whereas Elgar, what's this guy doing? He's across the channel. He spent most of his time playing cricket and sort of, you know.
Yeah, he wrote a few good pieces accidentally, basically. He didn't really know what he was doing.
So Elgar's getting dispatched.
100%, yeah.
Elgar's getting dispatched.
He's off.
In comes Felix Mendelssohn. What's he coming into?
No, this guy's got to go straight away.
He's got to go. The reason why. So Mendelssohn, I don't know if you know this, but he was a huge lover of Bach. I mean, really admired Bach and actually revived a lot of Bach's works during his time.
Yeah.
So I think there's a sort of like a slight feeling of like, wow, I'm looking at Bach now. I've never seen this guy before. I'm now getting into a ring with him. What do I do? Yeah,
exactly. He'd tense up, wouldn't he? And then while he was tensing up, Liszt would appear from the side.
Literally.
Honestly.
Clotheslines over the top of the ring. Mendelssohn, he gets up, he's still looking at Bach.
Yeah, he can't believe what he's seeing. Yeah. It's been his lifelong dream to encounter one day Bach. And now he's there.
And he gets dragged out.
Yeah.
He gets dragged out. And that was it. That was his moment of meeting Bach. He's been totally closed.
It's like trying to fight your god, you know, at that point. Exactly. How is he going to do that?
Can I just quickly say for the viewers that this is all based on true events?
Yeah, this all happened. We're like recounting it.
Yeah,
but, like trying to make it.
Only two people in the audience.
Exactly. Only two people in the audience. Exactly. You guys didn't see this stuff.
We're going to take our word for it.
We're obviously trying to make it a bit funny, but we're not emphasizing a word. This all happened.
Yeah. Okay, Prokofiev's coming in.
Prokofiev.
Fantastic composer.
Yeah, really good.
Peter and the Wolf. He wrote a lovely violin concerto.
Sure, yeah, he would have come out to that Wolf tune, wouldn't he?
I think so.
That like brassy Wolf tune, definitely.
I like it. It captures the tension.
He'd come like slinking around, I reckon. Definitely. Also, he was a sort of I imagine he was a bit of a feisty dude because he's living under this Stalin guy.
Oh yeah.
Just thinking, no, this is not the life I wanted.
No.
So he's looking for a way out.
He's a very experimental dude as well. You can imagine that he's bringing in some serious weapons. Like, what's he coming in with?
Yeah, he got some Soviets. No, not quite. Yeah,
A sickle.
Yeah, he's got a sickle.
The sickle. He's coming in with a sickle.
He's coming reaping.
Yeah. Oh, the Grim Reaper.
Yeah, exactly. There he is. Everyone stops in their tracks.
Bark and Liz, I think, are beginning to get a bit sort of mistrustful of each other.
Yeah,
they're a little worried that like if one turns their back, the other's just going to sort of turn on them.
I think now is the time for Liz to potentially go.
Do you think? I think Liz has to go. I think Bark's lost 13 of his children.
Yeah,
they've been dispatched by like List at
yeah,
points,
they've been like List has used one of his fingers each time just to bat away.
Yeah, exactly.
Bark's
but
children.
they keep coming. They
keep coming. He can't believe it.
He can't. Yeah, exactly.
He thought he had the most sex in his life, but actually Bark probably did with all these children emerging. So then we say that
we keep going back to sex to determine who's winning this battle.
But you have to admit, looking back in history, like all composers' best stories, either dying of syphilis, going crazy from syphilis. There must have just been so much stuff. Having children.
Did not have syphilis.
He didn't have syphilis. Yeah, he was faithful, but he was having a fun time.
He was, and I think because of that, with the power of 18 children and the power of the Lord behind him, List is gone. Prokofiev's getting into the ring as List topples off. The only two people in the ring now. Bark and Prokofiev. What's happening here? I don't think they really know what to do with each other.
No, they don't. Yeah, they're sort of...
It's a bit like they don't... I imagine in the Russian school of music, and this is total speculation, I imagine a lot of Bach's work wasn't studied so much.
No.
I get the impression that Russia's music, anyway, has always been taught by Russians and really learned.
Yeah, they like their own stuff the most. That's why, and they have like a lot of censorship for their own work throughout all of history, not just Soviet era. So then I imagine that also means that not all too much stuff came into Russia. So then, but I still think that Bach would have made his way there. But I just don't, because it's not in any way offensive to them.
Prokofiev will absolutely know who Bach is, but I think that he won't have studied him to the level that Mendelssohn had. Or more like European.
Yeah, exactly.
Composers would have done. So I think Bach and Prokofiev are sort of sussing each other out whilst Fauré comes in.
Fauré.
What's he coming into?
Oh, he's angelic. He's gliding down to that. Oh, what's peaceful. That like cello or piece that's always transcribed? Of course, it's Apres and Rev. Yeah. And he's just been dreaming. He's been having a nap, saving his energy, and here he comes. We'll need to get a dimension check on Fauré, I think, because I can't picture the guy.
How tall is Fauré?
Can you tell us some of the essential dimensions? But I think that he's not going to be in the ring for too long. But he's going to. If anything, I imagine him as the type of guy that tries to sort of settle everything down a bit.
But again, there's something terrifying about somebody coming in with so much tranquility. It's like, this is a guy who's focused.
This is a guy that knows what he's doing. Exactly. It's just like Debussy in the beginning with his Clair de Lune. Mm-hmm. He's thinking, I don't want you to worry about
And he's also coming in as a bit of an underdog. He's not one of the most well-known composers on this list. There's no pressure on this guy to perform.
No, he's not, of course, but also a lot of the audience are supporting him as an underdog, and I think he feels the need to prove himself more. That was kind of the thing with his works, they was kind of the same until he just got that formula right.
And he always knew what to do, actually. I think all of his music was very functional.
Yeah.
And therefore, I think he's playing the situation well. I think he knows that Bach and Prokofiev are kind of sizing each other up.
Exactly.
I think he's making a few little comments here and there, isn't he?
Of course.
He's sort of telling them that they should go at it.
Yeah.
And like this guy, he's just sort of sat outside whistling Apres and Rev to himself.
He's winding it all up.
The only piece that ever made him money.
Okay, so then we've got him in, but I don't think anything's really happening.
He can't find. So Fauré is actually not big enough to even have his like.
He's literally not tall enough to be talked about.
Definitely.
Okay, but now we've got.
Said that he's tall, but no one's actually given them measurement.
Oh, he's tall, is he? I never imagined him to be tall for some reason. I don't know. Something about his like quaint music,
Yeah.
I thought he was just a sort of like small guy.
Smaller textures.
Keeps himself.
Smaller stature.
Exactly.
No, I think at this point, Bach's going.
Bach's got to go.
He's lost his kids.
We're going to be offending a lot of people here, like get him out of the ring. But I'm not going to lie, like he can only last for so long. He's one of the kids has been dropped off at time. He's starting to miss home. He's got his cantata to write for the next week's church service. Definitely. He's thinking like, I'm going to resign at this point probably. I don't know 100%. I can't imagine Prokofiev right hooking him and like having the most successful time.
Yeah, no, it's a huge shame, but that is unfortunately what it's like going into the Royal Rumble ring at the beginning.
Of course,
you've got to last a lot longer than those who are coming in at the end.
Of course.
So Prokofiev and Fauré are both in there. I think they're having a pleasant chat, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot of sort of
hooking. Although they have like such different styles of composition that you must just think that there's something. You know what happens? They start with like a nice chat, and then it just deteriorates because they find something they disagree about. They're talking about like harmony or music.
Yeah.
Obviously music. What the point is of music, and they just have the complete opposite definitions.
They
Because
do.
Prokofiev wrote music because he was always angry, you know? But Fauré was just there, you know?
He just chunked it out.
Exactly.
Okay, so I think they're beginning to sort of...
Yeah, this is flowering into,
But in comes Strauss.
Oh, this guy's lasting for a while. I'm telling you that. He was
for a
quite tall, which I already know.
No, he was definitely like 5'3".
No. You're getting the completely wrong way around now. You're going to start annoying me. But Strauss was incredible.
He's coming into Alzo's Sprack, isn't he?
Of course he is. Oh, of course he is. Yeah. And he loves a good tone poem. Strauss thinks of himself as the hero. So he wrote Ein Heldenleben, which translates to a hero's life.
Yeah.
And all the critics at the time basically thought that that was about him, because in that piece he referenced past compositions, you know, so that wasn't just about another hero, it was about him.
Yeah.
He believed in himself. He wrote tone poems like Don Juan and Don Quixote.
Definitely.
And like he womanized, he fought, he battled.
But also
against the critics, like Salome, no one liked it at the beginning, but he made it in the end.
Yeah,
you know, he was a good. He stuck in there.
100%. Which I know I saw on your bedside table when we walked in to grab the lighting equipment that you're reading The Rest Is Noise right now.
Yeah, I am actually.
Yeah. And I think Salome...
Trying to. I can't really read, but I'm still learning to read.
Yeah.
Actually. But it's a good book. I'd recommend it.
Yeah, we're gonna
Alex
hang out.
Ross.
I know. So I read it, and it was. I think Salome was
Is
the
it
piece
Salome that you pronounce that?
Yeah, I think so.
Salome.
Salami. I think Salami or Salome was the piece that Alex Ross kind of focused on at the beginning of the book as being the piece that, if anything, started the 20th century period.
Yeah, it absolutely
probably was that piece.
It absolutely did.
So that's pretty influential.
And like Schoenberg and everything followed suit quickly afterwards. But I
the
think
whole
that
second Viennese school really studied Strauss to death.
Yeah, he started like Dissonance in like in a proper way. Like he was composing more tonally than Mahler. We're getting off topic
Absolutely.
here. But
No,
did you just read the first chapter, or did you read any further than the first few books?
It's brilliant.
It's a really good book.
I read it before I applied.
I'm bad at non-fiction actually, but yeah, it's been interesting so far.
We're all bad at non-fiction. So Strauss comes in. I think he quickly dispatches both of them.
Genuinely.
I think he's just looking at them and he's just like, guys, get out of here.
Easy, of course. Yeah.
So Fauré and Prokofiev are both out. Their budding little friendship or bromance or whatever it was turning out to be,
it's completely gone.
Strauss stands in the ring.
Oh, Prokofiev is so scary though. Have you heard his second piano concerto?
I know,
it's so like
but
dark, and like I reckon he's got some twisted methods of destruction. Like
I know what you mean, but I think Strauss is he's too strong for him, man.
Yeah, he is.
He's too strong.
He's coming there, lights shining behind him with Alzo Spratt. I mean, you can't lose the first battle at that rate.
Out.
I love how we we talk about Alzo Spratt with like virtually every podcast. Literally,
it's becoming
it's like the only piece that we know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The classical music podcast, but Alzo's Sprack.
Yeah.
So Strauss is still alone. The entire audience are chanting, are singing along with Alzo's Sprack.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
They're crying out for the Alpine Symphony. They're crying out, we want more music.
Exactly.
We want more music. And he's ready to give it, I think. Then we hear Chopin. Little piano.
Unsuspecting guy. But you know what? I'm going to be honest. Like, I visited Chopin's house in Mallorca when he stayed there for a while because he was ill. He had tuberculosis.
Invited to a lot of these houses. Yeah,
exactly. It was like an invitation from the 1800s, but I thought I'd take it up, long after he'd actually gone, just 'cause I didn't like the guy that much.
Yeah, I know.
But he was just so ill,
Yeah,
he was a sweet. He was a romantic. He wrote all these letters and stuff,
Yeah.
And he had some like flings there. I'm pretty sure. It was a cool place actually to see. But he was just sick,
Yeah.
So he's going to come in coughing and spluttering, like trying to finish his 12 preludes before he dies or whatever. But like, what chance has he really got?
He's not got much chance, has he?
No, come on.
Do you think Strauss is ruthless enough to finish him quickly?
I think there's every chance that Strauss would just
I think so.
take out.
I think Chopin's got to the ring. He's sort of rolling in slowly. You can see he's suffering.
Yeah.
Strauss, right hook.
Exactly.
Bang, bang.
He's got the height advantage, and I think he's got everything.
Picks him up over his head and just chucks him over the table.
Yeah.
The commentators
throws
go
him.
wild.
Literally, no one can believe it. Yeah, this is Chopin we're talking about.
He's not getting up.
Yeah.
He's not getting up.
Yeah, and his rival Liszt is just demolished for so long, but he can.
Exactly.
Because Liszt basically tag teamed Chopin, I reckon, and he couldn't do the same work.
Definitely. No, 100%. Chopin's out. He's already out. Now,
Oh, come on. Yes.
This is the matchup we want to see. Strauss versus Beethoven.
Yeah.
You could argue two of the greatest German composers of all time.
Oh, absolutely. And he comes into Beethoven
And certainly
9.
two of the greatest symphonic composers of all time.
Of course, yeah. What, wait, who? Strauss?
Strauss and Beethoven.
Well, Strauss wasn't really a symphonic composer.
Well, but symphonic in terms of that was the orchestral, the orchestra he used. He used
okay, fine, yeah. Sure, was like,
but for his tone poem against a symphony.
Exactly, yeah. He only wrote one symphony, Alpine Symphony.
Yeah,
it was cool. But
my
Beethoven,
only issue with Beethoven is this guy. His music started playing, nobody appeared.
Yeah.
What's happening? What's going on?
Yeah.
Beethoven hasn't got his hearing aids turned on. He doesn't know.
Yeah.
He doesn't know
He doesn't know what's going on. Like, you got Strauss charging at him from behind, and he's just completely oblivious.
He's in the clouds because
he's imagining what Beethoven 10 is going to sound like in his head, and Strauss just appears.
He's looking at all the audience like cheering. He's like, are they cheering or like angry? You know?
Yeah.
Exactly. He's like, what, do they like me or like, what's going on? Strauss is coming up behind him, but I don't think Strauss can bring himself to hurt him.
No, I can't. This is the thing with Beethoven, is that he'll get so close and he'll come with his like big Strauss bell or something, like ringing. But Beethoven's just, he'll get close enough, he'll realise, hang on a minute, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, this is Beethoven here. He'll have a soft spot.
And Beethoven was like in love with nature.
Yeah, exactly.
And in many kind of aspects of life, he was a very calm man.
Yeah.
But he turns around and he gets angry. Because Beethoven could also get
he got really angry. He wrote that like Rage Over a Lost Penny on it's a piano piece.
Yeah,
you know?
really?
And it's basically because his maid like lost some of his coins or something, I'm pretty sure. and he got absolutely livid. The roof came off.
Reports
basically.
at the time of when Beethoven was like practicing the piano and he'd be like screaming at himself.
Yeah.
Genuinely, like this is like a thing. Like his neighbours would like be terrified of him.
Funny that the same guy can go write Moonlight Sonata, which everyone uses to basically meditate.
Yeah.
So yeah,
exactly.
But no, interesting.
Yeah.
So we got him, and we've got Beethoven 9 blasting out in the background.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole choir.
Beethoven 9? Yeah, I like it.
And
very nationalistic. I think both him and Strauss are kind of bonding.
Yeah, they are. So what happens is that Beethoven gets let off the hook for a while because he's made a pact with Strauss to stick in there.
Yeah. So Grieg's coming in.
All right, Grieg useless.
We've got
Grieg is the shortest composer I think of all time. No, that might be Wagner, but honestly, he's tiny.
Yeah.
So
what's he coming into? Is he coming into the piano concerto or Peer Gynt?
Oh, good point. Oh, they're piano concerto for sure.
I mean,
you get that timpani roll, then you get
yeah, but I don't think that's more his vibe. I think they're.
Oh yeah, and then like it starts before he's even appeared,
like a little
and it gets faster and faster. Yeah, exactly. And everyone's like, "Oh, I know who wrote this."
Yeah, exactly.
He emerges.
He comes running out, and both Strauss and Beethoven, I think, are just laughing.
Yeah,
They're like, "What's going on?" You know.
Yeah, this guy's a joke. He wrote two hits and then disappeared basically.
Definitely, exactly. So,
but he's gone. He's gone instantly. I think it wasn't Beethoven's doing. It was Strauss that just knocked him out again.
I think Beethoven's still just kind of sat there. Strauss has almost become his bodyguard.
Yes,
they've realised that by working together, they're going to make it to the end.
Yeah, exactly.
and get it to the end. They might. Grieg is out. Now we get the clash of the operatic titans.
So this is funny because when we watched this in real life, what happened again?
Yeah, so because I also organised this event in real life.
Yeah.
And I thought
annually
box office.
Yeah.
What do they want to see? They want to see matchups.
Yeah.
They want to see respect, but they also want to see disdain.
Of course.
So I thought Verdi and Puccini. What's happening when they meet each other? Are they going to fall in love with each other? Is this going to be like them coming out of the closet?
Yeah.
Or is this going to be like, I have been in your shadow my entire life?
Exactly.
What's happening? So we bring them out at the same time. Verdi is blasting. What's Verdi blasting? I'm trying to think, like maybe that.
Dies Irae or whatever that is.
Oh, the Verdi Requiem.
Verdi Requiem.
So he's got Dies Irae. Puccini.
It's like the most dramatic music of all time, almost. It's crazy.
It probably is.
With that drum.
And Puccini, I think Puccini's maybe the death scene of Mimi in La Boheme.
Yeah.
Like huge, like violins and octaves, like bells, everything's going.
Or what's the Nessun Dorma? No.
Nessun Dorma's good. And I guess the translation of Nessun Dorma is None Shall Sleep. And Vincero is kind of, we will be victorious.
Yeah, I'll win.
He's coming out. He's like, I'm going to win. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he comes out to that. I think Puccini knows who Verdi is because Verdi was well before his time.
They've been scared of each other for a while now. Yeah.
They've definitely.
Did they live in the same? The opera man.
Much earlier.
Much earlier, right? Earlier, so it's you can't.
Puccini went into the sort of 1930s, 40s, I think.
Yeah, he was actually. I always think. Oh yeah, he was because he went to like Strauss's openings and stuff. I think.
Yeah.
There's a bit about him in the book that we mentioned. So this is gonna be become like an advert for that book.
Absolutely. Yeah. But that's why people don't talk about Puccini in the 20th century because his style was just so romantic.
Yeah.
But so they also had very different styles, and not to go too off topic here, but Verdi, he wasn't a big fan of portamento and like a lot of really stylistic kind of freedom in his music. It was very, you got to do what I say. Whereas Puccini, we all sing it as if he's just laid the framework and we're just doing everything else with it.
Yeah, of course.
So I think there's a bit of beef going on here. Verdi and Puccini, who's winning? I think I have an idea of who's winning.
Okay.
I think Puccini.
Okay, yeah. I was thinking that Puccini had more hits, didn't he? Or not?
I don't know. I think his hits are more loved.
They are. They're
I don't
more
know if
known.
he had more of them, but I just think.
But he's more romantic as well.
He's definitely a romantic,
yeah.
and I think he was. I think the style he wrote, you could talk about Puccini and the way he wrote is quite similar to Wagner and his leitmotifs.
Yeah.
You know, Puccini always had these themes for everybody.
I will just say that I think that Verdi's like the coolest looking composer. You know, the portrait of him with the hat on.
You're right. You're right. But maybe that's all
It's
he
sad
is.
to have
That's
him
the
go.
facade.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, he
Everyone's
walks
listening to
out-
his music just because he was such a charmer, but
Exactly.
There's not much to
I
it,
think
really.
Puccini knocks him out
but
before they even get to the ring.
Yeah, exactly.
I say
yeah.
I think. Sorry, I was there. I know.
Yeah, yeah, we have to stop
Sorry.
saying speculative now.
Yeah, stop saying speculatively. Yeah.
So what happened when Wagner entered the ring? So yeah,
So Verdi's gone.
Verdi's gone, and we still got Puccini left.
Yeah, Puccini's there. Beethoven and Strauss are still in the ring. They're watching this. They're interested, I think. I mean, Beethoven only wrote one opera.
Yeah, he's
Fidelio.
still milling around because everyone's been too scared to probably touch him now. But
But I think Beethoven's about to go ham. He's
course.
jealous.
Yeah.
As I said, Beethoven only wrote one opera, Fidelio, which he revised about 1 million times in his life.
and it's not even that good, is it?
It is. No, it is very good, but he's not Puccini.
It's
He's
just not an
angry.
opera. Yeah,
He's like, how does this guy chonk out so many operas?
yeah, exactly.
So Puccini and Beethoven go at it. Strauss sees this as an opportunity. Who's he teaming up with? He's previously been protecting Beethoven, but maybe he's beginning.
He's
to see
getting a little bit
Beethoven
bored of
as a threat.
Beethoven. He's been trying
I
to
think
communicate
so.
some team tactics, but Beethoven's been looking at him confused.
And Beethoven didn't go to the premiere.
No, of course
Puccini-
not.
Puccini
Yeah,
did.
yeah. He had the worst excuse ever, like he was dead or something.
Yeah.
But, like, it was a bit depressing. Like, what kind of friend is that? You know, you expect them to at least turn up.
This guy couldn't even get out of bed.
Yeah, this guy
Out
couldn't
of
even
his
get
bed.
out. You couldn't even like climb out the six feet.
Yeah,
But, what a loser. So Strauss
I think so.
basically. You know what? I don't
think
even count the
Strauss stabs
Strauss.
him in the back.
Yeah, stabs him
I
in the
think
back.
he does. I think he whacks him in the back of the head.
Yeah.
Beethoven turns around, he's stunned.
Yeah,
He can't believe what's happening.
yeah.
Strauss and Puccini sort of hoiking over the edge.
Absolutely, but and now there is Strauss and Puccini left, and Strauss's method of writing an opera is so different to Puccini's that they instantly fall into huge disagreement.
They're
They're now
instantly falling into huge
battling it
disagreement.
out.
They're back, but everything goes black. You know, the Undertaker in WWE.
Yes.
You know when that guy, whenever he comes in, it goes black. You hear the sound of a bell, and
Yeah.
this guy just appears.
Oh yeah.
That's Wagner. Right?
That's a Wagner. Oh
With
god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's coming. All we hear is that.
Oh god. Okay.
Now we've got the real battle of
Wagner's
operas.
got some serious angst.
Strauss, Puccini, Wagner. The three guys who made the biggest headway in 20th century opera.
Yeah, literally. Although Wagner was like actually so old style compared to like Puccini and Strauss, wasn't
No,
he?
Puccini was just as old style, I'd say.
Would you
But
reckon?
a different kind of old style.
Yeah.
Wagner's like old school German style. Puccini was more romantic, old school Italian style.
Yeah. Okay, all right, sure. So we've got this is a good three people to have in the ring at the same
I think
time.
so.
I think.
Yeah. What's happening? I think nobody can take out Wagner. They can't bring themselves to do it.
I would just say that Wagner's tiny though. You know?
Wagner is tiny.
But also they can bring themselves to do it because like Wagner
He
was
was a nasty bloke.
a bit of a knob.
Yeah, and by a bit of a knob, we're talking quite racist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was actually extremely liberal, which people wouldn't assume, but
Mm.
his methods of achieving a liberal society were just by being so non-liberal
Yeah.
to a certain group of people.
Yeah.
So so the crowd has gone a bit silent when he's coming. They're a bit like, oh, not this fucking guy. Like,
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
So maybe
he should be in like prisoner of war
we need
camp.
to get this guy out of here. Maybe
Yeah.
we need to get this guy out of here.
We should just
That's a
get
shame.
he's squashed.
I feel
Who
like if
takes
we-
him out, Puccini or Strauss though?
I think they both. I think Strauss doesn't like him. I think Puccini. No, I don't think either of them like him. I
Yeah,
think
they
there's
don't.
a little budding rivalry going on here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wagner's out.
He's gone.
He's been whacked over the rope. You can't believe it. That massive entrance. I organised it. We spent like millions on that entrance.
Yeah, of course we did.
We like all of those like lights to sort of go off and
We
coordinate.
didn't have that much funding for like the podcast afterwards. Actually,
Exactly.
We have
I
to go a
Took all out of it.
few weeks before we record the next episode. Like we have.
And I
just
never
done
got the
now.
apology letter from Wagner for doing so badly. Tchaikovsky comes in. I love this guy.
I love Tchaikovsky
Oh,
so
this
much.
guy. And he also,
Yeah.
his opera, well, the main one anyway, Eugene Onegin. Amazing opera. It's one of the best.
Yeah. Oh, that's the Pushkin. Yeah. Did he? I never actually heard it. Is it good?
Oh, it's incredible. It's an amazing opera. It's
Yeah.
so good. But also, all of his orchestral stuff, we spoke about Pathétique as well in the first podcast episode, is Pathétique Symphony.
Of course.
Incredible.
He's featured often on here as well. We love this guy, but
Yeah. And he was famously
he
homosexual as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, of course.
I think he's
And
loving-
sadly, because that was what like he killed himself, and I think Symphony 6 is his last piece ever that he wrote before.
Right.
So it's a sad
Almost
story
like a
about
sort of
that
musical
piece.
suicide note, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly, and it makes sense when you listen to it as well.
100%.
So with Puccini, I think he takes him out quite quickly. Actually,
He takes Puccini out.
Oh, yes.
I think so.
But do you think he takes Strauss out as well?
No, I think Puccini's tiring.
Puccini's tiring,
This
yeah.
guy he didn't write very long operas in comparison to some of the others.
Yeah, of course.
I think
he
that
didn't,
says something about endurance.
Yeah.
I think Puccini's running out of steam. Strauss is still going. Strauss is a real titan. I think he's looking like a favourite to win here.
He's looking like a favourite to win, but he's so tired right now as well. Like we need to consider it. And I think that Vivaldi coming in next is gonna pose a huge challenge.
Yeah, so Puccini's out. We've got Tchaikovsky in the ring, Strauss in the ring. They're kind of still going. Strauss is looking tired, but no, Vivaldi comes in. The Four Seasons.
Oh, we've been waiting for this. The Fire, the Red Priest. He's there.
He's
got this. Like he's got godlike
famously
agility.
one of the worst priests of all time.
Yeah,
this guy just never went to mass.
No, he just hung out at the orphanage basically all day.
Yeah,
but he's come and he's dazzled the whole crowd. With his crowd
I think he's
favourite
running
Summer.
with his violin, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Playing Summer.
Well, of course he has. Yeah, and they're like, what's his hands doing? I can't even see this guy's hands moving.
Exactly.
So he's throwing fists at the speed of light.
He is.
And Strauss does not know what to do about
Strauss
it.
doesn't know what to do about it. But I think they're still going. I think these guys are still evenly matched. Strauss, he's tiring, but he's still such a heavyweight.
Yeah.
Tchaikovsky's going at it. He's loving it. I think this is a good moment for him to just sort of enjoy himself. I think this is the release he needed from his life.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, he suffered with a lot of
depression. You think he's actually going to be one of the few composers enjoying the Royal Rumble? Do you reckon?
think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so, but I think it's getting him away from reality.
Yes, okay, absolutely.
Because nothing in this is remotely close to reality.
This is a weird fiction that we've come up with here, but that's good fun.
Vivaldi's come in. Now we hear Mozart. What is he walking into?
Yes, right, Mozart. He's such a playful guy. He's a bit of an idiot at the same time. He's probably stumbled in drunk, to be honest. Coming in with the Jupiter Symphony, absolutely, has to be.
Has to be.
Or maybe Queen of the Night aria, just something like feminine touch, you know, and he's just waltzed in.
No, I think Jupiter.
I like Jupiter as well. It's a bit menacing, that one, isn't it?
Yeah. So he's come in. I think already, immediately, like we know that he's not going to last long.
No, he's not.
Music's great.
Music, like we're not. But he can't.
He's seen three girls in the crowd he already fancies.
Exactly.
He's distracted.
Yeah. He's got the bottle of like whiskey half empty already.
Oh no, something mad's happening. Do you not remember when this happened in the thing?
Oh yeah.
Do you not remember? So literally, Mozart gets to the ring. Salieri out of the audience. No one invited him.
Yeah,
he just gets out there.
No, he
with
was
a chair
gate crashed
and whacking Mozart.
He gate crashed the whole battle.
I couldn't believe it.
He knew where Mozart was going to be at what time, and he came with his little poison. It was his little poison jar.
Exactly, and went at him, and suddenly Mozart's out. He's out. Salieri's taking him out.
It's Salieri's spontaneous.
I remember the whole security were trying to find the Salieri guy. Never found him.
Never found him again.
Apparently
He just disappeared
was
after
in
that
a
point.
asylum.
Yeah, of course he was. Yeah. But at least he managed to finally defeat Mozart. And leave the rest of history with less good music.
Exactly, and Sanson
what a dick. Sanson, this guy's music basically is the same as Mozart because he just didn't move on from the classical era. So he's such a boring dude. I don't trust that he does that much in the ring.
Yeah, I think everybody hears the Swan and just turns around and looks at him and says, "Right,
just
this guy's out."
He gets to the ring enough times. Like, go away.
He gets to the ring. The Red Priest whacks him with the violin.
Yeah.
Tchaikovsky is just sort of hits him or something.
Absolutely.
And Strauss, the final headbutt.
Yeah.
Knocks him over the edge. Sanson's gone. At this point, Strauss literally is about to collapse onto the floor.
Yeah, so it takes Sibelius coming in next, and what are we saying? What does he do for us?
I think Sibelius. This is when the real battle of the nationalities comes in.
He comes in with the violin concerto, with the Fifth Symphony, French horn moment. That's what he comes in to.
Finlandia, I think.
Yeah.
Finlandia.
That's a good piece for him, actually.
Yeah, he comes out to that, and this is when, because we've got 4 composers now, maybe not so much Vivaldi, but 4 composers who are very nationalistic.
Yeah.
Sibelius wrote a lot of music in defense of his country and the people of his country.
Yeah.
I think he's locked eyes with Strauss and he's taking him out.
Okay.
I just think Strauss is gone. Maybe if he hadn't stabbed Beethoven in the back, he could still be here.
Yeah, but all of the others were watching him do that and just thinking, this guy's an awful bloke.
Little scumbag.
Absolutely.
How could you take Beethoven out? The guy can barely hear.
Yeah.
So Tchaikovsky, Vivaldi, Sibelius in the ring. Schubert comes out. He's riddled with syphilis.
Yeah, he's gone. But that means he's gone absolutely mad.
He's gone mad,
at the end of his life. And
so
just like Schumann as well. They both Schubert and Schumann. They both come in and they're both completely mad with syphilis.
Oh, it's the battle of the shoes.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's going to win? We've all wanted to know.
Oh, I think we should have Brahms in there as well because of the angst between Schumann and Brahms. Though, I think we should need to have these three.
Everybody's running at the same time.
They see Schubert coming. And then they all run in.
Pandemonium.
Yeah.
They're all watching. Tchaikovsky takes out Vivaldi. Vivaldi's not watching. Vivaldi's gone.
No,
he's out.
He's had his moment. He's gone.
Tchaikovsky's still in there.
Yeah,
Sibelius
but
is looking around.
Tchaikovsky kind of lost a lot of his sanity. You know, he's depressed, but he can't match with the insanity of Schubert and Schumann, who
Schubert, Schumann. They're teaming up. It's the shoes.
Oh, you can just imagine
It's
the
shoes.
Erkoning. How do you pronounce that one that you always say? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's come in. Tchaikovsky's out. Suddenly Brahms is running in. What's Brahms running into?
Well, but Brahms has seen Schumann. No. So Schumann's seen Brahms.
Yeah.
And has been absolutely livid with him for a while.
It's like rabies.
Brahms has been at his wife for too long now, and it's no longer funny.
Yeah,
so syphilis has brought him over to the edge. He's cut his hands to give himself more of a reach, and these stinging slaps from all
What's
around.
happening? But Brahms is a big guy. He can take it.
He kind of is a big guy, but he's a bit. This is the
spoken.
end of his life, a bit introverted. He can't bother with this stuff anymore. He's not putting up a fight.
He's going, but Shostakovich comes running in.
Oh, Shostakovich comes running in.
People, they're coming in definitely quicker.
Yeah. What symphony should we put him to?
10 maybe.
Maybe 10 would be a good one, I think. Yeah.
We're going full nationalistic now. Oh, Shostakovich come in. Suddenly, Brahms is out. Everybody's distracted.
Brahms is out, but so Schumann and Schubert are at each
Schumann
other
and Schubert now at each other. Sibelius is still under the radar.
Absolutely.
He could be a tip to win.
You know what? I think Shostakovich takes Sibelius out as well, to be honest.
Shostakovich has taken Sibelius out. Sibelius can't handle it.
Yeah. They both have a lot of national pride, but I think Shostakovich beats Sibelius in that sense.
Oh, Stravinsky's coming.
From what I know.
We've got the Right of String. It's playing. Everybody's just bopping.
Everyone hates.
No one's fighting anymore.
No, they're not bopping. They're writing. The stadium's about to burn down. All the composers hate Stravinsky because he's trying to change music into something it's not.
And obviously, at the premiere of the Right of String, there was literally a riot.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the Royal Riot Rumble at the moment, and it's just coming to the end.
Schubert and Schumann are still fighting though.
Yeah.
What's going on? Shostakovich doesn't know what's going on. He's leaving alone. He looks like little Harry Potter in the corner. Doesn't know what's going on. Stravinsky.
Yeah.
He's out.
He's gone. No, he's absolutely gone. He was an
He's
angsty.
gone.
He was an angsty little man.
An angsty bloke.
He didn't like any complaints. He liked things how they were.
Let's say
but it just doesn't.
Shostakovich is just Avada Kedavra him out the ring.
Yeah.
And now Rachmaninoff comes in, the final man,
Yeah.
the boss. Schubert and Schumann are fighting.
Yeah,
Schumann's gone.
Yeah, Schumann's definitely gone. He's bled out from his fingertips.
Yeah, Schubert wrote his leader were just better.
Yeah,
his song were just better.
Everything was better. It's such a short lifetime as well. He nailed it.
Exactly. Rachmaninoff comes in to the second piano concerto.
Oh yes, absolutely. Like third movement,
it's out of control.
Just going crazy.
He's coming in. Schubert and Shostakovich look at each other.
Rachmaninoff doesn't really want to take Shostakovich out because he's like, I've got this like Russian affiliation, etc.
There's a Russian affiliation,
but you know what?
Schubert's got so much syphilis. Nobody even wants to touch him.
No,
this guy. So they're all fighting. What's going on? Suddenly, the cage drops down. You don't remember this? The cage dropped down. It turned into a cage match.
Oh yeah,
no one was allowed to leave the cage
until like last remaining.
Man standing.
Exactly.
Last man standing. At this point, Schubert just collapsed on the floor. What's going on?
No, he's out. It never happened in any previous years, but the coaches, they were going, stop it, call it off.
He's lying.
That's actually how he died. On the floor of the ring.
Yeah, and I think Shostakovich was quite upset by it actually. I think Shostakovich is looking down.
I don't think that Shostakovich took too much. Yeah, he didn't take too much inspiration from Schubert's music, to be honest. But he still thought, you know what, I quite like that guy. I could see through the craziness. Whatever.
Definitely.
So fine, like he's collapsed, but they're occupied, these Russians now.
It's Rachmaninoff versus Shostakovich.
Yeah, exactly.
What's happening here?
Oh God.
I think we all know what's happening.
I think we all know what's happening.
Rachmaninoff, he's too big.
He's too big. We actually had to like extend the cage so that it would fit over his head to like keep him in.
And he's just holding. He's got Shostakovich by the head. He's holding him like this.
Yeah. His glasses. Shostakovich's glasses are fully broken in his face.
Yeah, exactly.
You can reenact it because you actually look like Shostakovich according to everyone that watches the podcast.
Yeah, I've been heckled with this.
So you can sort of reenact this perfectly. I think I can be Rachmaninoff, but he just gets. Yeah, he just gets.
You know when you've got your younger brother and you're like holding them there.
Yeah,
they're trying to punch you, but they can't reach you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what the crowd's saying. And Rachmaninoff RKO's out of nowhere. Shostakovich into the floor, stands up,
and he's a champion,
the heavyweight champion of classical composers.
Oh, I'm so proud of this. God, this has been such a great episode. You know, we've really. We'll have to put this open to the floor of people that think who the real winner is. But Rachmaninoff is all the way the winner.
Rachmaninoff is the winner.
And I think before our cameras run out and our mic and everything else happens, we have to call that our episode.
That's the episode. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you so much for listening.
And we do hope you'll join again next time.
Tune in for the next one, eh? It only gets better from here.
It can't get any worse.
Can't get worse.
All right then. Bye-bye.